I personally believe that if you ever get into a situation and you have to stop and ask yourself, is this the right thing to do? Am I making the right decision here? Then you've already answered that question. Should I attempt to strut across that 6-lane highway with my eyes closed, all after downing a 6-pack? Easy answer, right? Here's another one. Should I download and play a lazy, phoned-in first-person shooter that is free to play, but boasts one of the most blatant and shameless microtransaction stores in recent memory? Once again, easy answer. My name is LtBuzzLitebeer, and yeah, I took a look at CrossfireX so you don't have to. A game so poorly designed and launched on Xbox Game Pass that even the developers are apologizing for this one. In case you like what you see, please smash that big, beautiful subscribe button, and don't forget to ring the bell to receive all my future upload alerts. I honestly don't know how they pulled this one off, but Crossfire's creators, South Korean publisher Smilegate, actually got Xbox to include this abomination in their monthly Game Pass subscription, which still just blows my mind. Now, you may not be familiar with Crossfire, but there are really only a few pieces of information you need to set the stage for this video. First is that the original Crossfire game is a shameless, bootleg copy of CSGO that uses maps straight out of Counter-Strike, but is designed to run on any type of PC, and I mean anything, especially those with extremely low specs. Now, the second bit of info is that Crossfire was an extremely popular game due to it having such a low-cost requirement to get into, but has long seen its golden age come and go. I mean, we're talking 5 to 10 years ago. In fact, the game was declining so fast that Smilegate crammed it full of pay-to-win features, trying to milk every last drop out of their IP, but this further accelerated the decline of the game. Outside of that, the Chinese version, I believe it's now called, Crossfire HD, allows for no pay-to-win aspects, and therefore it still remained popular in that specific region. It was only a matter of time before somebody smelled a boatload of money, tried to port this over to console, and now we're stuck with CrossfireX, a brainless, boring, and poorly designed port made exclusively for the Xbox, and this time it has both a single-player campaign, which is actually 2 different campaigns, along with a full multiplayer element. And oh, by the way, the multiplayer and the single-player run on different game engines, which I can't remember the last time, or any time that I've ever heard of that. Anyways, by far, the best part of this game is the single player. Although I don't want you to think that is any reason to waste your time playing this one. It is simply the part of this game that sucks the least. For these campaigns, Splitgate paired up with Remedy. Yes, that same Remedy Entertainment that brought you awesome creations like Alan Wake, Max Payne, and Control. But whereas those previous titles were creative and unique, the 2 CrossfireX campaigns, Catalyst and Spectre, are completely devoid of any intelligence. I don't know anything about the inner workings of game development, so I just approach these from an entertainment angle, and the word that comes to mind here is lazy. You are essentially flung from one Michael Bay set piece to another, paired off versus absolutely brain-dead AI, all while being subjected to some of the worst writing and voice acting you've ever heard in your life. Do yourself a favor, save yourself a few hours of boredom, and avoid these like the plague. I mean, it should have told us everything we needed to know about CrossfireX when there was no advertising for this game at all. You would think that if Remedy was working on a new project, that it would have created some buzz around it, right? But the studio and Xbox were probably so ashamed they just collected their paychecks and ran for the shadows. But wait, because it gets much worse, as when you enter the multiplayer element, you see exactly why this game was ever created in the first place. Now, at its core, CrossfireX is an Xbox exclusive port of the Crossfire PC game, so it has the potential to provide console players with that gritty, classic point-and-shoot CSGO experience. Within this aspect of the game, it actually features both classic and modern mode, with classic being that CSGO game, while modern mode adds on things like sprint and aiming down sights. It also gives you some pre-mission bonus structures and certain kill streaks. Okay, so that's the positive description now over, because now I needed to tell you that this is quite possibly the worst FPS I have played in the last 5 years, and that's no exaggeration. Remember when I said that this is a console port of a PC game? Well, when it was pulled over from PC, they forgot to program anything that relates to a freaking console game. The controls are insanely inaccurate, and I ended up having to dial down the base sensitivity to the lowest setting it would go, because even minuscule stick inputs would have you spinning wildly out of control. Now, overall movements are stiff and janky, and at the risk of sounding maybe too harsh, the entire multiplayer element is a total pile of shit. There's also a complete lack of maps and modes, along with the fact that certain maps are used exclusively for certain modes. The only parts I could really handle were the graphics, even though they look like they are from a 90s arcade game, and the gun sounds, which are pretty generic. I ended up playing this on a friend's Xbox Series X, so I didn't record any of my footage and therefore wasn't really paying all that much attention to frame rates and overall performance stats, but in summary, this game just felt really old. Frame rates were okay, I guess, until I got around other players where they ran really fast across my screen, at which point the frame rates dipped to extraordinarily low rates, something like 10 to 20 FPS. I don't know exactly, but it was so rough on the eyes and totally broke any attempt at immersion. Also, I don't know where the CrossfireX servers are located, probably in a galaxy far, far away, but we were seeing ping rates in excess of 200, and that was the norm for many of the other players crazy enough to attempt multiplayer. And finally, this game in general just runs like ass. It hard crashes with frightening regularity, and when you attempt to jump out of the game and into the Xbox Live menus, it freezes for what feels like 10 to 15 seconds before it finally catches up with you. But like I said, the game just feels really old, as if it were running on a 15-year-old game engine. Okay, so the single-player campaigns are to be avoided, and the online multiplayer is just a total crap fest. So why does this game even exist? Well, that answer is really simple. Microtransactions. CrossfireX is chocked to the brim with MTXs, and they permeate every nook and cranny of this game. So first off is the fact that for the first time I have seen in the Xbox Game Store, a game that is included in Game Pass actually requires you to purchase portions of it so you can play them. That's right, only one of the two single-player campaigns is included in the free-to-play Game Pass subscription, with the other requiring you to spend $9 to unlock. On top of that, you could also purchase the Ultimate Edition, and those of you that got duped with Battlefield 2042 are probably starting to twitch and cringe just hearing that terminology, as Ultimate Edition actually translates to the Ultimate Scam Edition. Anyways, the CrossfireX Ultimate Edition includes both campaigns, of which one's already free, a premium Battle Pass Season 1, and the Gatling Gun Goldwing. Which, oh, by the way, brings me to the fact that in multiplayer, there are different weapons, but most of them are locked. And here's the kicker, they need real-world money to purchase and unlock. Getting your teeth kicked in by another player in multiplayer that is rocking a gun you just can't compete with? Yeah. You know how this story ends, as we as gamers have seen this kind of grift a million times before. User reviews have been scathing for this unpolished cash grab, with a current Metacritic user score of just 3.1 out of 10, spread over 107 ratings. I mean, what does it tell you about the game when it was not released early to any of the mainline game reporting sites for their reviews? So far, there are just 2 critic reviews, one from Windows Central and another from IGN France, when both were pretty negative. Now, 2 days ago, Mr. Boo, the executive producer on CrossfireX, released a blog statement that read, quote, "It's clear that we have inadvertently disappointed many of our players and fans that have stuck with us for a long time. You mean everything to us, and I felt that you deserved more than just a simple patch note, which is why I wanted to take this opportunity to personally apologize for the current state of the game, take you through exactly how we plan to address the issues, and ultimately ask for a chance to make it all up to you." Now, the blog has outlines as to what they're going to try to do and improve the poor technical state of CrossfireX, but this doesn't address the huge underlying issue being that nobody wants to play this game. There are a slew of other much more competent shooters already on the market that deserve your attention, but this game is not one of them. Even with the multiplayer and one campaign being included with Game Pass, that means free, I would still not even waste my time with this one. Really, the only side of the game that seems to work flawlessly is the online store, designed to punish players for not purchasing the best weapons. Seriously, Xbox, how did you ever get suckered into posting this one in the online store? I look forward to reading your feedback in the comments section below. If you are on Xbox and have attempted to play CrossfireX, how has it treated you? Also, have you ever played the original Crossfire on PC? Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and ring the bell to receive all my latest upload alerts. If you could take a few seconds more to rate and share this video, it would be appreciated. You can find and follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and are welcome to join my community Discord server. Links to all my socials in the video description below. Thank you so much for all the support you've been showing me and my channel. Until the next one, this is LtBuzzLitebeer, signing off.